So you are a person who, believes in yourself. You're confident about what you do. On the other hand, I don't hear ego in you. I hear confidence and I hear knowledge. What kind of advice or what kind of knowledge can you pass along and impart to people about how to create that kind of a mindset in our lives?
Well, I would say, ironically, there were some people in my life who might disagree with the ego thing, but that's why I mentioned it at the start.
Yeah,
At the
I
start,
hear you.
who I've been becoming has evolved over the last 6 to 8 months with people that are paying attention in my life. So I've learned to kind of call that aspect of me, but I've always been open to learning, and that's one key, one best practice, being open to learning. In terms of the building confidence thing, I myself, because I'm aware of the insecurities I have and I've had and how to overcome that. So I've had to continue to grow in that aspect. I'd say I can think of four things off the top of my head that are very useful for building confidence and dealing with a lot of things like imposter syndrome. The first one is visualization, the ability to see in your mind's eye what it's like to accomplish a goal, what it's like to do the things that help you accomplish the goal, and how you can put that visualization to uses. You don't want to use visualization as like a third party perspective view, as though you're watching something on a television. You want to first person, as though you're seeing it through your own eyes. You want to visualize the steps you need to take, what it feels like to accomplish the goal in order to get it done. Because those mental reps are just as effective as physical reps. That's been proven scientifically. I'll give you an example. Say you want to lose, I'm not just going to say 10 pounds. That's, when I hear people make weight loss goals, I don't think they're specific enough. All pounds aren't equal. You're going to look different losing 10 pounds of muscle versus 10 pounds of fat, or like 3 pounds of fat and 7 pounds of muscle. Like, let's make your goal 10 pounds of fat loss. That's a really good thing to do. So how would we visualize that? First off, you want to think about the sort of activities that you're going to do. So you're going to change up how you eat. You're definitely going to want to cut down on some carbs, some non-fibrous carbs. So these are carbs that break down into like sugar, things like oats, rice, a lot of desserts. You want to limit those, as well as eat more protein. Like, you want to try to, I think, 0.7 or 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. So let's say you weigh 100 pounds, you want to try to get 70 pounds of protein per day. And you want to visualize what it's like to eat the foods that are going to help you lose fat, what it's like to do the exercise going to help you lose fat. I would highly recommend more high intensity stuff rather than slow, steady state jogging, etc. That's an aside though. And you want to visualize what you'll look like and feel like when it's all said and done. That helps you. That's one thing you can do to build confidence. Another thing you can do to build confidence is what we call dedicated practice. And that's just not practice where you're going out and doing some action over and over again. This is methodical practice where you're actively working on improving some of your areas of deficiency. So let's say I want to do a better job of hitting a baseball. I'm going out, I'm taking a bunch of swings in the batting cage. I'm thinking about my stance. I'm thinking about, and what I've learned, like as a casual baseball fan, but just someone who likes mastery of skills in general, it's not, your form is not nearly as important as having a good eye as to what pitches to hit, which pitches to stay away from, especially based on the count. So you want to work on, if I want to be more of a long ball hitter, what sort of pitches am I holding out for? Practicing that, where I'm specifically working on a specific skill to get better. If I want to be a musician, what kind of chords and scales am I going to play to get better over time? Dedicated practice. That's the second one that can be used for confidence. A third one, this is one that you really don't hear much of, but I think it's a really good idea. It's called keeping a success journal. So in essence, you have a document that you maintain that has the compliments people have given you over the years, the things you've accomplished over the years. And you just write these down. You could say on March 5th, 2020, I completed a 5K in a new time, or just I completed a 5K period. And you maintain this document not just to show yourself in the future, hey, I was able to do XYZ, which can boost your confidence in the moment and help you with self-esteem, but it just gives you a running list of things that you can refer to, which is useful. fourth thing I would say is, like, it's an underlying theme of this conversation, is if you ground yourself in something bigger than yourself, Christianity helps here, where you understand that you were made for a specific mission, that there exist resources well within your fingertips, Bible, other Christian leaders that can help you generate more of yourself now than you think you can. That helps the confidence when you have something that's bigger than yourself that you're anchored into. Well, a rising tide lifts all ships. I'm attaching myself to the tide that never stops rising. And that helps. So that would say those are four things that can help with building confidence and tackling insecurities.
Going back to your losing weight, you said 70 pounds. I think you meant 70 grams of protein, but that's okay.
Yeah, I thought that's what I said, like a gram.
A lot of protein.
Protein. Yeah.
A lot of protein.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's fair.
in A Guide Dog's Guide to Being Brave, we talk about things like treasure mapping, vision boarding, and internalizing those things. I tend not to journal a lot, but I tend to leave myself a lot of reminders on my Echo device and other things like that, so that I do keep the same things in the forefront of my mind. And I know that that's something that needs to happen. So I've just found those ways to do it, because even if I write it down in Braille, unless I touch it, it's out of sight. So I do it in a way that it won't escape, I won't escape from it, which is really cool.
That's a really good method to use there. Anything that can be used to remind you whenever you need it, whether it's audio, visual.
But internalizing it and doing it and structuring it in a way where you're really causing your mind to think about it. That's the important part about it.
Exactly. And unfortunately, not enough people engage their mind.
No.
Yeah.